itching grew worse and worse and worse. Then she looked down at her arm. Her breath almost disappeared. Her eyes widened. Her voice failed. Because from her skin, her smooth, beautiful skin, tiny white maggots were crawling out, pushing through tiny holes that were not there before. They poured out from her arms, from her legs, from her stomach, from under her nails, from the back of her neck. 1,000 tiny wriggling maggots crawling, falling, moving. Arike let out a scream that tore through the quiet forest. A scream filled with terror. A scream the river had been waiting for. Her scream tore through the quiet afternoon like lightning. It echoed across the farmlands, across the yam ridges, across the cassava bushes, across the palm trees that surrounded the village. Farmers stopped working immediately. Men who were lifting hoes froze in midair. Women carrying baskets of vegetables turned sharply toward the direction of the river. The scream came again, louder, sharper, filled with pain. Some farmers dropped their hoes. Others threw down their baskets. Everyone started running toward the river, their feet pounding the dry ground. By the time they arrived, what they saw made their hearts shake like leaves in a storm. Arike was on the ground near the riverbank, rolling, crying, twisting her body in agony. Her hair was scattered. Her wrapper was half torn. Her nails scratched the mud like she was fighting invisible enemies. And the maggots, they were everywhere, falling from her body like heavy rain. From her ears, white worms pushing themselves out. From her eyes, tiny ones crawling across her cheeks. From her mouth, pouring out as she screamed. From her arms, dropping in thick clusters to the ground. Her once beautiful skin was swollen, red and full of small holes. Her whole body looked like it was melting. Arike, the pride of the village, the girl whose beauty everyone praised, was no longer recognizable. People gasped. Some covered their mouths. Some stumbled backwards. A woman fell to her knees trembling. One old farmer whispered, voice shaking, "Ah, Osun River has punished her." Another shouted, "Help! Somebody call the chief priest before she dies." Nobody wanted to touch her. They were afraid the curse would jump to them, but they also could not leave her there. So they used long sticks and pieces of cloth to lift her gently, their hands shaking with fear. Every time they touched her, more maggots fell. They carried her slowly, praying, crying, whispering all chants.
They carried Arike straight to the shrine of the ancient chief priests, Baba, a lesson, the man everyone feared and respected. His shrine stood at the edge of the village, surrounded by tall iroko trees whose branches blocked the sunlight. The moment they reached the shrine, Baba Elesin stepped outside slowly, leaning on his long wooden staff. His white cloth flowed behind him as the wind circled his body. When he saw Arike, he stopped. His eyes widened in shock, then softened into deep sorrow. He did not rush toward her. He did not speak immediately. He just looked at her once, and his spirit understood everything. A heavy silence fell. Finally, Baba Elesin sighed, a long, painful sigh, and motioned for them to bring her inside the shrine. The shrine was dark, lit only by a small clay lamp burning palm oil. Strange carvings decorated the walls. The smell of incense filled the air, thick, sharp, and sacred. Maggots continued pouring from Arike's body onto the shrine floor. She cried, trembling, breathing fast like someone running from death. Baba Elesin lit his sacred lamp. He sprinkled white chalk on the ground. He poured palm wine into a calabash. Then he took his ancient cowries, shook them gently between his hands, and dropped them onto the shrine mat. The cowries scattered. The wind inside the shrine suddenly changed. It blew strongly, yet the doors did not move. The flames of the lamp flickered violently, dancing like frightened spirits. The oracle had arrived. Baba Elesin closed his eyes, his voice deep and heavy. "Oh, ancient ones, speak." The cowries turned by themselves. The calabash shook lightly. A cold presence filled the shrine. Then, the oracle spoke through Baba Elesin, his voice no longer sounding human. "She disrespected the river spirits. She broke the sacred law. She poured shame into Osun's water. For that, the river has rejected her. Her body is now a home for maggots."